Welcome to this tutorial, guys. We're going to go ahead and actually make a character, a scene, and a camera, and we're going to make the character follow a path to move through some objects in our scene, and we're going to also make the camera follow that character. So we will be able to watch the character move through those objects. So go ahead and click out of the introductory screen. Let's press A twice. Let's get rid of all those by pressing X and deleting them. The first thing I'm going to add in is a plane. I'm going to Shift A, and I'm going to add in a plane. This way we have some ground for things to be built on. I'm going to press the S key, and we're going to scale that way up. So now I have something to place things on. Let's make this ground. So we're going to actually add a color to this one, just a real basic color. We'll get into materials a lot more another time because we can add some really neat things in here. But up towards the top right, you will see a little materials sphere. Go ahead and click on that. Click New. And I'm going to come down here to the top, and I'm going to change the color slightly. There's tons of colors in here for you to choose from. I'm going to make mine look a little bit on the brownish side, just as some ground out there, like we're building on dirt or something. And so I'm going to go ahead and add in an object at this point. I'm going to go ahead and Shift A, add in a cube. I'm going to lift that up on top of my ground. I'm going to make that into a little bit more of a very quick type of a house building. I'm going to press Tab. I'm going to press A to deselect. I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to grab my plane select button, and I'm going to select the top plane. I'm going to press E to extrude. Let's bring it up a little bit. I'm going to press S to scale that down. Now we've made kind of a pointy, tiny little house. There's lots of ways to make houses and different objects. We'll get into those another time. I'm going to press the Tab key to get back into my object mode. And I'm going to start moving this to the side. The plan is to have some sort of somewhat a U-shaped path to where my character can come in on one side, move through, and come out the other side. The placement of these buildings is up to you. You just need to have some sort of a path, and the direction that you want to make it is going to be just fine. But I'm going to go ahead and duplicate a few of these buildings just to have some different things that we can select from and be able to move some things around. I'm actually going to press the Shift key, and every time you hold the Shift key and left click, you're actually selecting. I'm going to Shift D, and I'm going to duplicate that entire row of houses. I'm going to do that again, and I'm going to do it one more time here. So now I've got lots of houses to choose from, but I need to move them around and make their placement just right so that my character has a way to move through these guys. So I'm going to go ahead and just select a few, and let's move them to the side. And now we're moving some things out of the way. You don't have to keep all of these objects. You can delete any of them you would like. I'm going to just move some to the side out here. Have a couple bunched together in the middle. And now you can see I've kind of got my U-shaped path coming on in. You know, taking a look from the side, making sure none of our houses are levitating. You know, who knew that they were mutant houses then that could levitate themselves. This one shrunk inside the ground. We're going to bring them back up because obviously the ground was a little bit of a quicksand there. We're going to leave it somewhat in that direction. Now I'm going to go ahead and put in my character. Shift A. Let's bring in the monkey, and I'm going to look at him from the top view. I'm just going to move him around whereabouts I would like him to be. I want him above the ground, and I'm going to make him a much smaller monkey because monkey heads aren't as big as a house. So now I've got my character looking about like so. I'm going to go ahead and bring in my path because I want my monkey to follow a path here. So I'm Shift A. I'm going to add in a curve. Going to add in a path, and I'm going to bring it from G over here, R over to the side, And I pressed R to rotate it because I wanted it to rotate to kind of flow into the path for me to begin with. Alright, I've got it facing up just a little bit. I'm going to rotate that again by pressing R. Now I've kind of got it positioned the way I want it to be. Let's press the Tab key and get into edit mode. And once I'm in here, I can go ahead and grab the vertices and I can actually move those around. I just press the letter G. I'm moving it wherever I want to go with it. I can go ahead and stretch this out by selecting the vertice, pressing G, moving out there. But now I want to change some things. I'm going to actually press E for extrude. I'm going to put another vertice out there. You can see that it actually brought it up as you know, you can make the directions any way you want. I'm just going to go ahead and keep working on pressing the letter E and extruding this all the way around to where I'm going to make kind of a really basic U-shaped path. Paths can be as complex or as simple as you'd like them to be. So I've got a pretty decent path heading on in. Now we're going to go ahead and take the monkey and let's get back into object mode by pressing Tab. I need to select the monkey. I need to come over here to the constraint menu. I'm going to add an object constraint and I'm going to tell it to follow the path. So now once it's following a path, I've got to select my target. Clicking inside of the target area, I'm going to select my NURBS path I just made. So I'm going to move my monkey back over here. He took off on me. Let's make sure that he is facing the direction I want him to face. I'm going to press R to get him to face that direction. Looks like he's a little bit on the crooked side. I'm going to turn him up just a little bit so his eyes are facing the front. I want him to follow the curve. And so I'm going to animate my path, and let's try him from the beginning. Let's see if he follows the path, and indeed he does. He follows that path all the way through. Okay, we can adjust how many frames we have in our scene. Let's back it down to probably around to 110. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the end frame. I'm going to type 110. And let's get rid of those extra frames that we don't need right now. There are ways to adjust how fast he goes through and how many frames it takes for him to move through the scene, but at this point we're just going to leave it about like that. So now I have a character moving through the scene. Well, I want to follow that character through the scene, so I'm now going to add in a camera. Shift A, bringing in a camera right here. My camera's ending up over there. We're going to press G. We're going to bring it back around. Cameras can be somewhat cantankerous to work with. So we're going to not press just R because I want to rotate it around to face in a different direction. Because sometimes when you press the letter R and you turn it, you end up turning the camera angle as well. We want to leave the camera angle at the same direction, but we want to just turn the camera to face a different direction. So I'm going to press R, and then I'm going to press Y, and I'm going to press 90. And let's see what happened there. Well, that one didn't quite work, so we're going to go ahead and press Control Z, move it back. Let's go ahead and press R, and then let's do the X-axis, and let's press 90. Well, we definitely turned it, but not quite the direction that we want. Cameras can be quite cantankerous. Let's go ahead and try that again. We're going to press R, and let's do the Z-axis, and let's press 90. That's the way we want it to turn. And I'm going to take my camera, and I'm going to lower it down to where it's almost towards the character. Let's go ahead and rotate it from this angle. Let's just bring it up. This time I'm going to press R and just bring it up a little ways. Now I'm going to slide it down. Now I want to see exactly what my camera is watching. In fact, we want to bring this back behind our character a little bit more. Let's press the 0 key on your number pad, and let's see exactly what we're looking at. If we run the animation, right now, the character takes right off on us. Great for a still shot and for different action shots, but for now we want to actually follow the character through. I'm going to turn my angle just a little bit more, press the R key, and I'm going to rotate just slightly, and I'm going to bring it over to center it a little bit more in the scene here. Press 0. There's what I'm seeing in my camera view. Not bad. I'm going to press 0 to get out of that. Now I want to tell the camera to follow the path as well. So once my camera is selected, I'm going to go to the constraint menu, and I'm going to add a follow path as well, and I'm going to tell it to follow the NURBS path. Oops, we moved again. So let's go ahead and just use this as some good practice on moving our camera again. Let's raise him up. Let's move him around to where we want him to be. Press and letter G key. Now I'm looking at him from the top down. And let's try pressing our R key. And let's go ahead and press the Z key, 90. And we're about where we need to be over here. Let's get a little closer. Let's get a little farther down. And then I'm going to go ahead and press 0 key on my number pad. That takes us right in. Now our camera should, let's click on Animate Path, make sure it's already animated. Our path should follow our character. And indeed it looks like we're following through. Let's go ahead and back that up. Let's change one setting. Let's click on the Follow Curve checkbox here. And now I moved off again. Let's go ahead and move our camera back into place a little bit. I'll have to figure that out at another time. Okay, let's go ahead and press Rotate and Z and 90. And then let's go ahead and move him back over. Whoops, I grabbed the wrong thing. Control Z, grab the camera, move it over to the side. We're now rotated a little bit wonky. Let's go ahead and press R, turn it back where we need it to be. Let's move our camera back from our character. Okay, let's go ahead and press the Animate button. Let's see how it all works and functions. Now our camera is swinging around behind our character. Let's go ahead and back that up. Let's go to Camera View. And I'm actually going to take the camera here. And let's go ahead and bring it down a little bit to the side, about in there. And then let's go ahead and press the Animate button and see what we come up with. Now we're following through very nicely. Okay, let's go ahead and rewind that. Don't forget to save your file. And at this point, I want you to make a nice little movie. Remember how we rendered? We're going to go back into the Render button. We're going to come down here, choose your file. And at this point in time, we're just still doing some easy, quick movie formats. So we're just going to do the AVI JPEG. So once you get that done, go ahead and take your movie and upload it to me. Thank you for building your awesome, wonderful animated character moving through a nice little scene. Good luck and have fun making it creative.